It's your man JayGravesReport, and welcome to the College Football Weekly Wrap-Up Week 2. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Wrapping up the top 5 ball games of the weekend, so let's get right to it. Now, normally we go through the top 5 ball games. What we're going to do this weekend is go through the top stories. Now, let's break it down like this. The first thing I want to say is everybody that's Big Ten affiliated need to listen. At the end of the season, I don't want to hear a word out of anybody from the Big Ten because the Big Ten is dull. You had 5-6 teams yesterday playing on national television, and they all got embarrassed. Let's start off. Vitek goes to number 8, Ohio State. Goes to the horseshoe, Devontae Horseshoe, and beats the brakes off Ohio State 35-21. They literally came in the joint, kissed their girl, threw everything on the floor, put their underwear on, and walked out. It was dull. How do you get beat like that on national television at the crib, and you supposed to be one of the best teams in the country? Now, let's move on to the next one. You had old Dub Michigan come in with the hottest uniforms in the country. Go up to South Bend. Last time they're going to play old Dub Notre Dame for the foreseeable future, and Notre Dame went out there and lit them up 31-0. Shut them out, bruh, on national television. Then you had Michigan State. Number 7, Michigan State, I might add, goes out to the Parliament Funkadelic and plays the number 3 Ducks. Now, I will say this. Michigan State went out there in the first half, traded punches with these boys. Then after halftime, they fell for the banana in the tailpipe. The doggone Duck did so many push-ups yesterday, he can't even feed himself this morning, bruh. I mean, what is the deal? Then you got Purdue shows up on national television. First of all, how did that even happen? They on national television against Central Michigan, the Chippewas. The Chippewas came in there and beat them 38-17. Purdue got carjacked by a gun with a water gun and sparklers. Firecrackers, bro. How do you get beat by some guns? Central Michigan. Now, then you had Northwestern is out here struggling. Gets beat by Northern Illinois 23-15. These guns at Northwestern so smart they can come up with they can unionize the football team, but these guns can't prepare to play for some cats. They got to give you the directions of their school in the name of the school. Northern Illinois? What is the deal? Now, then we got Nebraska in a street fight. Literally in a street fight in the middle of the street, bruh. Fighting with McNeese State. Barely gets out of there 31-24. These dudes out there in street shoes, and pimp socks. Playing these dudes. Barely get out. Most cats watching the game don't even know where McNeese State is. Then you got Rutgers is in a battle for their lives. Barely beats Howard University by 13 points. This is a football game, bro. I didn't say this was the battle of the bands. A football game. These dudes barely got out of there alive against Howard. So everybody in the Big Ten, I don't want to hear a word from anybody from the Big Ten, anybody affiliated with the Big Ten. And let's move on to the next ball game. Now, let's go out to the Pac-12. We got number 14, USC, goes to number 13, Stanford, and upsets these boys at Palo Alto. Now, I picked Stanford to win this ball game because I figured David Shaw was going to come out and put in work like he been putting in against Sarkisian. You know, he's beaten Sarkisian 4 out the last 5 when the Don was up at Washington. But Sarkisian came in, went to work, beat him 13-10. The problem I got with this ball game is what I said at the beginning of the year in my rant. Steve Sarkisian got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty during the course of the game, 4th quarter. All of a sudden, they call upstairs to the athletic director. They call Pat Hayden out the booth. This gun comes running out like Superman, runs out on the middle of the field, and I hear arguing with the referees. Now, here's the problem. Pat Hayden is one of the 13 on the 14 playoff committee. So how in the world is he going to be fair and impartial at the end of the season if USC is in the hunt for the national championship, bruh? Come on now. Hey, so like I told you before, I grew up watching hustlers and thieves operate. This ain't nothing but a armed robbery waiting to happen. No way should you have current athletic directors on the panel deciding who's going to play for the national championship. Then you just out of nowhere go get Condoleezza Rice just because she watches Stanford play football. Who does that, bro? It's your man Jay Graves Report from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport so you can holler at your boy.